Welcome back to another film review with the one and only Davion Seen It. I'm going to be doing a review on Evil Dead Rise, but before we proceed, I want y'all to take the time out and hit like and subscribe. If y'all can do that for me, that would be great. I'm gonna give y'all a little time to do so. Let's get it.
Yeah, you know how to lie to kids. Mom?
Mommy's with the maggots now.
Dead Rise is directed by Lee Cronin. This is supposed to be his first major Hollywood picture and is doing pretty well with the reviews and hopefully commercially. Now, he has a few projects like Hole in the Ground, Ghost Train, and a few other indie projects. Now, this is supposed to be the one that's supposed to be his vehicle to success in Hollywood. Now, it stars Alyssa Sutherland. Now, Alyssa Sutherland is a veteran in the game. She starred in movies like The Devil Wears Prada, Don't Look Up, the horror version from 2009, and she starred in series like Vikings, and she also starred in Last Ship. Now, Alyssa Sutherland, I have to give her flowers because she embodied the role of a possessed woman because she did that. I feel like she, and the way she embodied this role should be broken into pop culture. This should be remembered because this movie alone was pretty memorable. Now, this film is about a dysfunctional family who comes together. They have a get together with each other, and an earthquake happens, and then these two kids, their kids find this evil book, and one of the kids is the DJ. He makes music and plays loud music in this DJ in this room, and he takes the evil record and he starts playing it, and the evil record is a recording of some kind of evil sessions or some kind of ritual, and it just goes to shit from there. Now, throughout the movie, if you are kind of weak when it comes to pain and gore, this is not the movie for you. I'm kind of fall on that side, but I also like to live my life on edge too. So I watched the movie at almost 11 o'clock. I know, really close to witch hours, but I watched it, I manned up, and I actually had a good time. I highly recommend if you like horror movies, that have depth and horror movies that are just simplistic and just fun, but also have depth, I think this one will be for you. Now, like I said, if you're not into gore, if you're not into all those evil spirits and all those kind of things, don't check this out. But this one right here was a solid horror movie. Now, this is the sequel to the one from 2013, which is Eli Roth's version. Now, if you know Eli Roth, you know how he is with his movies. He be ODing with the gory effects. It gets crazy. And you should check out Green Inferno if you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, he did a pretty good job on that one. Mia was the trademark for Evil Dead, being that she had lost her arm. And there was also a nod to Bruce Campbell's Evil Dead from the 1980s. So that was a pretty cool Easter egg and a nod to the OG movie series. Now, we get hit with this one. Now, I heard a lot of early reviews saying that the beginning is pretty slow, but once the horror element kicks in, things does not let up. And I seen for myself, and they was right. It didn't let up. The whole 97 minutes of the movie, the whole atmosphere, you're waiting for something to happen. And then once the lights shut out and the power cuts off, all anarchy. Now, there was a scene, I don't know if anyone pointed this scene out, but there was a scene in the elevator. I'm not going to spoil it, but as the elevator was going down and you seen the whole little mini ocean of blood coming out, tell me that did not remind you of the movie The Shining in that scene. Tell me that didn't remind you. Was that like a nod to that movie as like a reference, being that they're both produced by Warner Brothers, keep in mind. So I don't know, and they're both horror movies. But anyway, that's just a little Easter egg that I peeped. But overall, man, I really enjoyed this movie. I had to close my eyes during a lot of scenes because the gore, man, I mean, I was like one of the only people in there closing my eyes, especially that needle scene, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to spoil too much. It's just, when you watch these movies and you see how how real they look, especially with the practical effects. It has you like on edge and make you cringe different, you know what I'm saying? And I notice a lot with Hollywood, especially in horror movies, that they're starting to go back to the practical effect thing. You know what I'm talking about? They're going back to that because we're tired of CGI. The overusage of CGI just doesn't hit. I noticed in some movies, especially movies that were known for being violent back then and having a lot of blood in it, you will see them now produced and then it's not, it doesn't really hit the same. It's not to sound all sadistic or sound all morbid. I'm just saying practical effects are still a thing and they should be used more in the industry because why not? Now, the sound design in this movie, each injury that a person had on them, or any kind of hit that a person inflicted on another person, it just hit different because it's the way that they mix the sound. And I'm big on sound in movies. Like, sound design is everything because it helps tie the whole scene up. Not necessarily the story as a part, but it ties the scene on how you tell that story. And the way they did it, I think they did a phenomenal job with it. Now, the dialogue between the children I thought was pretty campy and pretty typical teenage stuff. But at the same time, I did enjoy their chemistry between each other. And the scene where Alyssa Sutherland's character was in the kitchen, she was throwing eggs in the cast iron skillet, talking about cutting bodies open and talking about I'm gonna crawl inside you and be a one. If you've seen it, if you know, you know. That's some real foreshadowing, but if you know, you know. Now, like I said, this movie was really painful. Now, when I watched the Red Band trailer, I noticed how gory the movie was. So the Red Band trailer kind of ruined it for me. So when I went to go see the movie for myself, I kind of defeated the purpose of seeing the movie because why did we want to see the movie? Well, the Red Band trailer showed everything. Kind of like how in the Red Band trailer for the original, not the original, but the previous Evil Dead, which they showed at Comic-Con back in 2012. However, this was a good movie. I highly recommend it, man. Go ahead at your own risk. If you're not really into gore and you just want to so-call yourself living life on the edge, hey, go. And make sure you go at night so you can be really scared. Anyway, that is my quick review for Evil Dead Rise. I hope you enjoyed this review. Highly recommend. Hit like and subscribe for me. Please get me up to 3K. Take care of yourselves. I'm gone.